Alright, trying a recording on my Canon R6 Mark II. It's a different camera from the other Canon R50V. Just wanted to get a feel for this one on a recording. The car on the turntable is the 1969 Ford GT40. This is would be, I guess, considered the Mach 1 version, even though it wasn't called a Mach 1. But this was the GT40. This one here won the 1969 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's kind of almost a story very similar to the Mazda from '91. It wasn't the fastest car on the track, but it was the one that lasted, and in this case, this one had to actually battle with a Porsche right down to the last lap. The Porsche, I think it was the 917, had come out, and it actually dominated. The problem was the 917 didn't have reliability, so they were still sorting it out. So as the 917s fell out of the race fell back into this car's hands and another Porsche, one of the older Porsches. And I'm not sure what the model number of the other Porsche was. I think it was like maybe a 906 or something like that. But this car and that Porsche battled right up through the last lap of the race. And on the last lap, well, two things on this. One, this car was going a lap further than it had ever gone before. So as it entered that last lap, it wasn't real sure that they were going to be able to finish the race from what I've read. But they did end up having enough fuel to finish the race. And what they did was the Porsche evidently was just a tad bit quicker down the straight, and the Ford GT40 was quicker through the twisties and could hold the Porsche off. So what they did with this car, the driver did, was on the last lap going down the long straight, he let the Porsche go by him because he knew that he could draft back by him at the end of the straight and get into the twisties, and that he would be able to hold him off as long as the gas held out and he didn't run out of fuel. So that's what the driver did, and it ended up working out. And this race went down to the last lap with this car winning the race. So that was pretty interesting. But again, like the Mazda 787B, this was not the fastest car in the 1969 race. But like the Mazda and the other Porsche, they both had the reliability to finish the race. And this here GT40 took the last of Ford's wins for the overall win. So that was pretty cool. This here model is by Amalgam. They are ultra expensive. However, they do have some absolute fantastic detail to them. It's not an opening model. For the price, you would like it to be an opening model, but unfortunately it's not. However, even what you can see inside is very nicely detailed. This one has wheel weights on the rims that you can see. I doubt it shows up good on the video here, but there's wheel weights on the rims. The paint on it is absolutely flawless. It's just fantastic, very glossy. And Amalgam went to Ford and spent a lot of time going over Ford specs and Ford files. So there's an ambulance going by outside. But they went through all the files and specs and stuff. So I'm pretty sure that this is probably the actual exact paint color that the car should be, because most of them will be a real light powder blue, super light, and I don't think that was correct. The Spark is a real light powder blue, way lighter than what I think it should be. This one's not a dark blue, but it's a very nice light colored blue, and with them going to Ford and pulling all the specs on the car and stuff, I would assume that Amalgam got the color right. One of the things that Amalgam did that you won't find on the other versions of this car, like from Spark, is you have the little lightning bolt arrow coming down and pointing at the electrical switch to shut down the electrical in case the car was involved in an accident or something, so the safety crews could shut the electrical down to the car. So that's pretty cool that they included that detail, and you can see the little chrome switch in there for the handle. The door handles on this are much better than they are on the Spark. The knobs and stuff on the opening parts are much more to scale, where on the Spark they're much larger. On the back here you have your little knobs for the rear hatch to open. You got your detail of the loop down here. The exhaust is nice. The rear tail lights are done really nice on it. You have the red and the amber. You know, the Firestones, each tire is marked, you know, left rear, left front, right rear. I mean, this car was really done properly. The orange on it is absolutely fantastic. Now, the orange on the Spark is the same color as this orange as well. They both match up well on that. But this is an absolutely fantastic car. You got your marker or your red light on the side over here. Then on the back you have your metal insert there with oval holes in it. Let me see if I can raise this camera up here and point it down so you can see that. But there you can see that on the Spark car in 1968, those were louvers instead of holes cut out. And I don't know how well this is going to show up on the film here, or the camera. But there's a much nicer plate over the engine, and down under the engine you probably can't see that because of glare on the glass, but you can see the carburetors in there, and then this plate sits on top of them. It has two silver painted parts would represent your bolts holding it down. This is really a super nice model. And then here's your undercarriage. Of course, they're a flat bottom. Got your transaxle under here, part of the rear end. But this is really a extremely nicely done car. Just going to let it go around one time here, up here at this angle. The lights on it are very well done. The covers. It's definitely a better job than the Spark version of this car, which is the 1968 Le Mans winner that they did. This one takes it up another notch. But again, for the price, yeah, it should be up another notch. You know, down in the front, you can see the radiators down there. I don't know if that shows up well on the camera, if the angle is right to catch that or not, but Overall, this is a really nice car to have in a collection. You just have to be willing to be able to spend the money for it. Hope you enjoyed it.